What now? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Let me go up here. Testing. Oh boy, not good. I can hear myself here. I can't hear myself there. So what I might try to there we go. Okay. Whew. Dang, man. It should just be automatic. It worked before now. Sorry, everybody. Again, peace be with you all. We are good. Oh, Richie's in the house. Okay. Got Richie, Oscar, K. We have a party. Appreciate y'all just joining. This is the last second thing. I'm going to try and invite a bunch of other people in. See if I could get some people to from other channels and stuff to come on in. Mike didn't even know what's going on, so I'm like, all right, let's just try this anyway. Let's see. Man, where's this stuff working here? This is terrible. Come on. Let's see. Can't even spell. All right, let's see. Breakfast with Tim, side of eggs, bacon, cheesesteaks. Oh man, don't go there. I'm hungry. I am definitely going to be making me some real food. Let's see, Trinidad, David. It'd be awesome. It would be really awesome if my son would join. Roger. Where's Casey? Yeah. If you got, join in. Yeah, just getting it together, folks. All right, sending that out. Got to get my other channels going here. Sorry to do this kind of in public, kind of weirdo that I am. But I do want let's get the main stuff going here. Where's my? There it is. All right, let's get this thing going right here, which is I want to add. Actually, I need to move this window out. There we go. Let's share let's look at the rosters. This is what we want. We need the rosters. All right, here we go. There's our Dodgers right there, right? So they replaced Edgardo Enriquez. Wait. What do you mean share screen not allowed? You fools. You guys can see that, right? Let me get this thing up to speed here. My backdrop better than Kevin's kitchen. Yeah, I'm just other than a couple glows, that's for sure. I've been trying to make it more organic, things like that. But let's look at what's out there right now, the important stuff. So they replaced Robleski and Edgardo. No surprise that on Edgardo. A little shocked on Robo, but then when you think about it, remember last time he went against the Phillies, he gave out like 5 runs in 0.1 innings. So they got replaced with Kershaw and Bonda. Makes a lot of sense. I hope they don't do that Bonda opener. It didn't work last time, but you can see it now where in the bullpen you have for left-handers Bonda and Dreyer. That's 2 lefties. Kershaw 3 lefties. Kershaw's a bullpen piece, folks. Scott's 4, Vesia 5. I wouldn't be surprised, man. After once the starter is out, and hopefully it's a good, strong, amazing 6-7 innings from the great and one and only Shohei Ohtani. But you can see it. Stevie Wonder, I can see the roster. Thank you, dude. Oh, so you can see that they're really concerned about those lefties. But let's remember when the Dodgers got kind of a little slapped around by the Phillies a few weeks ago, it was the lower parts of the order. It was guys that they shouldn't have been letting beat them. Schwarber and Harper will get theirs. Of course, with the roster still, Justin Dean's still on it, okay, and they're still going with 3 catchers. So interesting. I don't think it's a. I don't know. I like Robo, but um, we have Sheehan for length if we need it. Kershaw for length if we need it. I think they're in good shape. Next series, you just never know. Let's get to the next series. Let's take a look at the Phillies because I saw them also. Yeah, that's the Yankees. I don't care about the Yankees right now. Let's go with the Phillies. They're going with. Oh man, you can't see spit. Come on. All right, jeez Louise. Let's see how many. I'm going to try to see how many like lefties they have in their bullpen. Uh, One. They got Walker. Walker, number 31, is out there. Yep. Oh, Norm, that's a really good point. Trying to get that best defense out there. I mean, your defense makes your pitching better, right? um, yeah. And I think though that with any team, the bench bats are going to be weak. Um, let's go here though. So they have Tanner Banks, and I'm looking at their lefties for relievers. Oh yeah, Meza, ugh. And Strom, he's tough too. So they got some guys that are going to come in and try to get Shohei and Freddie out. To be honest, I'm going to keep Freddie and Shohei. I'm definitely batting Shohei 1 and Freddie 4 to try to neutralize this a little bit. Um, why am I getting? I'm getting ads on a Bob Nightingale thing. Good Lord. Yeah, I agree with this. Benny Rowe, Rortvet is going to be back there. But it can't be guys like frickin', Otto Kemp and Rafael Marchand or whatever his name is. Even, Sosa, Stott. Those guys can't be the ones beating you. You can't be those guys. So let's see. It's good to have the lefties in the bullpen. That's for sure. But hey, you got to get guys out. You got to get those other guys out too, right? So I'm going to take that down. Ooh. Do you notice my hat? Spitfire. I was in London, made sure I got that. Yeah, so Benny Rowe will be back there for sure, quite a bit. And he should be. He's doing a great job. And Smith, I think, is still for the bat. And so that's cool. I think someone like a Benny Caps, and I still have, advocated for Kyle Hurt to be in that bullpen. I guess I'm not in charge. I'm kind of doing that whole. I'm trusting the Yoyers. What is our? Let's see. I got to keep my text open so my wife not feeling well today. So right before I was going to go live earlier, I get the text. She's still in bed. I don't feel good. Yeah. Let's see who we got. I'm just looking at at X as we're going. Yep. And so I threw it up there, but Roki is still eligible for Rookie of the Year in 2026. He didn't play enough. Let's see. And there's gonna be just so much baseball. Good offense, good starters, horrible bullpen with good closers. Phillies have edge in defense. That's true. And yeah, it also depends. Like I expect today that Kike is going to play third, right? So I think that upgrades our defense there. Mookie's been good at short. Then you'll probably have Miggy Rowe at second. You're going to have Pajes. Our weak. Let's be honest. The weak spot's in right field. Okay. No matter what, the weak spot is in right field. We're kind of we kind of have issues there. Let's just be honest there. Man, no one wants to come play with me. Everyone's asleep. Come on. I guess they don't have major sleep issues like I do. I want to take a look. So we have what? How many games today? Let's see. Watch. Okay, we have. So I've been kind of wrong. So the MLB is that hasn't been totally chicken regarding NFL because they got the American League guys going tomorrow. So hey, I'm gonna support Alessio, man. English? That'd be cool. Something about Ohtani, but um okay, so the games that we have today though, we have what am I seeing? Yankee or Cubs and Brewers at 11:08. And then we have the Yankees and the Blue Jays at 1. Is that what I'm yeah, 1:08 PST. And then we have at 3 the Doyers. So it goes 11, 1, and 3, and then at 5:38 or Dodgers at 6:38. And then at 8:38 you have Mariners and Tigers. Who you got? Nah, Richie, they're gonna be fine with the lineup. I'm good with it. I think they're gonna be. They know what they got. They know they're not gonna mess around with this one. They got all these lefties coming up. Muncie will be coming up to hammer off the bench to hammer a home run off of Duran to win a game. Book it. No, I'm not worried about the I'm not worried about the laptop at all. They have it nailed. They know what they got. They might see something weird and you might see a little couple things, but I don't think you're going to see something like well, let's be honest. Hey, last year we saw Tommy Tanks hit cleanup. Made sense. It actually did. Now part of it was because Freddie was out. But they did some stuff last year. They will be looking at those matchups. And I think the Dodgers will match up pretty well with all these lefties. Let's see. Okay, here's the pretty version from the Yoyers. I'm trying to. Let's see here. All right. Oh, it's so pretty. I don't know what. Come on, man. I don't want that thing. Good Lord. That is not Blake Snell. Jeez Louise, man. You put a blue check? Man, someone put a blue check to be a Snell enjoyer, to be a one of them things. Whatever, man. Dodger Muse, they're a good channel. I like them. But here it is, man. We can see it in all the color. It's such a weird way because you go, hey, the Dodgers have pitchers. They have infielders. They have outfielders. They have a designated hitter and pitcher. They have catchers, and they have infielders, outfielders. So Haesung did make the lineup. I think some of us were surprised about that. You're surprised about that. Norm says, let's see. Okay, what do we got here real quick? Oh yeah, we've got those off days were huge. And my pitching rotation, I predicted it perfectly for this next series. I nailed it. And it is a blessing because you get all those extra days off. Snell, I mean everyone has all the rest. So that's a good thing. And there's not my only concern a little bit, and not so much with Ohtani, but maybe with Glass is hey, he was out for a bit. I mean, he didn't pitch for a bit. And he only pitched 3 innings on 2 Saturdays ago, basically. Is it really that long ago? No, 1 Saturday ago, right? Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah, not having to go that I still would personally, I would have gone Ohtani against the Reds. and have Yamamoto ready for 2 games against the Phillies. But maybe the Dodgers felt that Ohtani's a better matchup, which very well could be. Um, with just remember the first 2 games, so it'll be on the road, it's going to be Ohtani, Snell. At home, it will be Yamamoto, who's really good at home, and it will be Glass, who's better at home. And remember, he had a nightmare with the Phillies. And then it'll go back on the road with Ohtani if it gets to that. Phillies are everyone's beatable, including the Dodgers. But hey, so Norma, I'm gonna push back a little bit. He's a really good bat though. If he can really hit and maybe get some little catching in, it'd be great. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of see your point, but I'm going with the Dodgers at this point. I'm not, it's like I'm good with it. The only surprise, yeah, HS Kim on the roster, yeah, good wheels, and I think he surprises me sometimes. I like him so much. Yeah, so this Glass out of the bullpen night, let's talk about that. I pushed back on that on the X last night because when's the last time uh Tyler Glass now pitched out of the bullpen? And then how did Emmett Sheehan do going from his bullpen or being a starter to all of a sudden being in the bullpen? He couldn't find it. And I'm even more worried about that with Glass. So I think I'm not counting on it. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I there's just no freaking way I think that's gonna work. And I don't think they're gonna do it, to be honest with you. But if they do, great. Whatever, right? Um, so that's just my little my pushback on that. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. Um, gosh darn it, what is this thing doing here? All right. Do-do-do-do. Let's see. Oh yeah, we having the relevant. It's really good, and the Dodgers do have. I mean, it's 11 pitchers on the roster, but they have 12 with Shohei, so they get to cover. It's a great advantage. The Shohei advantage is amazing. Yeah, the Cubs, man, they had to fry their bullpen. Um, it'll be interesting to see if they have anything left because I think the Brewers are super beatable right now. Um, the only so my only issue with Roki, well, there's a couple, but I'm a fan of what he's done. I mean, geez, that was fun to watch. But if you look at it this way, he how is he on back to can he go back to back? Now, good thing is he doesn't have to go back to back in any of these freaking first 3 games. Because game 1, we had time off. Game 2 is Monday. That's a day off. Game 3 is Wednesday. What? Yeah, there's a day off in between each of those. So that's a really good thing. Now, maybe that game 4 might be an issue. That might be an issue. And then after that, game 5 would be with the day off also. So, yeah, his stuff is nasty. Let's see. Oh, boy, yeah. So, hey, here's one of the good things, though. Hitting last, yeah, that's home field. I'm a huge home field advantage guy. I feel that all the way. And I agree 100%. Like 110, 100% on this one. So a big advantage. One of the good things though is you're not going to have a runner on second in the extra innings. Thank goodness. Because that's just I hate that thing, and I'm glad it doesn't happen in the postseason. Because it always seems like the Dodgers, it's like, oh, we're going to put Blake Trinan out there. And I love Blake, but his focus is not on the runner. It's almost an automatic bag for someone with decent speed or a decent base runner. So that's one of the good things about it is you don't have that stupidness. It's real baseball. And that's where like a Tyler Glasnow or Emmett Sheehan could be a huge advantage in a game one. And that's where the Robleski or Kirsch, right? Kirsch. Yeah, but the good thing is, I mean, October Kershaw never showed up really against the Phillies, right? And if that would have been what 2008, 2009, so I kind of don't care, but um, it is a concern. It is a concern, and what I don't want to see is Doc go, oh, let's create a great story for Kirsch, like they tried to do in 2019. They tried to manipulate all that type of stuff. Go, oh, he got Adam Eaton. And then Rendon comes up and hits a home run. Kenta Maeda should have been there right there. And they could have Adam Clark come in. It was just stupid baseball because they were trying to do a narrative. I don't, if Kirsch doesn't pitch in any of the postseason because the Dodgers feel that it's not the right matchup, then you don't do it. But if they feel that there's a really good matchup and not trying to boost his legacy, put it this way, Clayton Kershaw's legacy doesn't need to be boosted any further. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a Dodger legend. He's going out as a Dodger. He's got 2 rings. You can argue all you want, argue till the end of the moon about how worthy those are. I don't care. It goes down. He's a 2-time world champ, 3-time Cy Young, 1-time MVP, one of the greatest of all time, 3,000 Ks. Well, and a good dude, most importantly. No, Glasnow's pitching game 4. That's for sure. If there is a game 4, let's hope the Dodgers sweep. We don't have to worry about a game 4. That's what we want to hear. Yeah, if the Dodgers can end this early, that's it's even better. But you know what? I mean, I think the Dodgers at least have enough starting pitching. If they do what we think, what we know they can do, not what we think, what we know they can do, should do really well. Really well. See what I agree. I think these are the 2 best teams in baseball. And the one thing is, of course, and we saw this in 2021, the Dodgers and Giants beat the shaving cream out of each other. They were both toast. They were both toast. So that is a concern that they would be tired. That's why let's get them in 4. But again, Dodgers starting pitching should be able to handle this. Even if there's for some reason an injury, okay, let's just heaven forbid one of our starters goes down. You plug Emmett Sheehan in, you plug Clayton Kershaw in, you even plug in Robo. But you don't have to go, you shouldn't have to do any full bullpen games, which the bullpen games worked in 2024 amazingly. But part of it was because they were giving up some games. And so, and then even game 5 turned into a bullpen game. But if they didn't have to bullpen game in 2024, if they had some more length and all that type of stuff, then the game 5 wouldn't have been as bad of a bullpen game. But, they had to fry some guys just to get through game 4 to even just have people surviving. It's like, let Kike pitch. Yeah, splitting Philly from Richie. Yeah, F the Ghost Runner hard. Here we go. This is I mean, if Teo butchers like he did against the Reds, yeah, that was pretty gross. And yeah, they did overcome that. Yeah, I gotta admit though, I like the way he handled that in terms of as a human being. It was impressive. But remember, Teo also mashed. And these are lefties. So I really wish that they would have fixed this issue. They should have fixed it. They should have put him in left field a long time ago. But they didn't. I think it might be one of those mistakes that comes back and gets us for sure. So I am Norm. I hold the concern because Phillies are really good. They ain't the Reds. See, this is the case, but the problem with this is it's not Kirsch, it's Dave. Dave gets sentimental. No more narratives for Kersh. He's done everything he needs to do. Yes, Kershaw's presence in the bullpen can go a long way. Absolutely. And hey, let's be honest. If a game gets out of control, let's let's put a good scenario on. Dodgers win the first two in Philly. Come to game 3, Yamamoto starts, but all of a sudden, he's got diarrhea or something. He's not feeling good. You just throw Kersh out there. And you might still have it. You have a chance to still win the game. This isn't like now. Hey, we love Brent Honeywell. I think we all appreciate everything he did. But when Brent Honeywell's pitching for you, in general, that means you're not you're not in a good way. The Dodgers don't have anyone like that. That's the good thing. They don't have everyone they're going to put out there is a competitive pitcher. I know, Tanner Scott sucks ball. I think if they use Tanner right, I'm not worried about him. I think Kershaw comes in with clean inning. He should. Yeah. I thank you. So maybe he does come in to pitch against the lefties. Like you said, clean inning. Don't give him traffic. Especially the first time. It's just not even fair. So who got snubbed? How was Dean? Well, Conforto's still not on the playoff roster. Now I think a lot of us expected that. But so World Series or next, it's going to be matchups. So Conforto is still off the roster. Shows so on this note, I know everyone's going, oh my gosh, the Dodgers are going to do this. The Dodgers are going to do that. They're going to, everything that we see in the regular season, Conforto's going to play all the time. It shows the Dodgers do take everything into account. 162 games was a rehearsal. When you understand that, and you get your head, or we all get our head around that, then that's the revelation. 162 game rehearsal. And who started in left field? Number 8, not 23. All right. Yep. Robo got squeezed out. Yep. And yeah, it's always good. You always want to have your best defense out there, especially if you got a lead, and especially for bullpens. But if they use, I'm going to say, if they use Tanner Scott and go, you're the closer, which they won't do. But if they were to do that, that'd be so stupid. You use him in those spots. Again, a clean inning for him also. Give him a clean inning when he's got to face when those lefties are coming up. That's what you do. You give him a freaking clean inning. With those guys, not a closer, just let him pitch. He's a situational guy. He's not a closer. If they haven't learned that by now, then I think we're in trouble. But again, the whole season is a rehearsal for this. I think everyone has to understand that. If you really want to understand the Dodgers, that is what it is. This is all a rehearsal. All right, let's see. Sheehan can figure out, being a reliever in the Dodgers Golden. No, I see Tanner's got closing. And he shouldn't close any game. I mean, unless the situation is there. But he shouldn't be the designated closer. They got to just go situational. Who's pitching, who's hot? Remember last year in the playoffs, who was the hot reliever? His hotness himself, Blake Trinan. That was the hot reliever. And they went with him. And he stayed hot until the very end. Yeah, my concern with starting pitching is, 3 to 4 innings of bullpen exposure. Yeah, bullpen. I was thinking batting practice because for me, BP is batting practice. Richie's in the house. They should not overextend Ohtani. I agree. I agree. So he should. They're gonna. I agree. I just cannot agree more. If they're going to now, what I would consider doing here is if they want to do this to address what you're talking about, Norm. And I'm with you, dude. So with you. You're so on fire today. Is to make sure that Emmett Sheehan or Clayton Kershaw, one of those two, is prepared for a start. That they are going, hey, we're going to go through our routine. We're going to go through our full routine starting like fourth inning or however long it takes them. Usually it takes those guys like an hour. So make sure that you're doing that. Get them ready. And then after the fifth, after the sixth, boom, get those guys in there. Depending on the score. Now it could be like, no. We got to go with our specialists and all that type of stuff. Whatever. But that's what I would do. And I'm with you on this. And I would do that also in game 5. I mean, hopefully there's not a game 5. Hopefully we win. Richie with some cash. Pages running and base running and tail glove. Just terrible. Watch. Oh man. Watching Manny rip into that reporter a note and a no-show in the postseason is why he's a POS. I tell you, that guy just never learns. I mean, anyone that doesn't think he's a good ball player, you don't know ball. However, he's just not. He's not that guy. He's not the guy. I mean, okay, he's 33 now. He's going to be 34 next July. I mean, he still put up a 4.1 WAR. I'm looking at him. Nice season. Career WAR 61.7, ops plus 124. Guy's a really good ball player. Probably a Hall of Famer. But he's part of the problem. He is actually part of the problem. Him and Tatis are the biggest problems on that team. And they're not going anywhere. I'm firmly convinced now. So Machado in a playoff lifetime is I think they said 207. I had to kill the webpage because Baseball Reference was throwing 100 ads at me and it would probably slow down my stream. But yeah. We have, so Machado, he's a lifetime. It's like, and just his attitude, right? And I said it, just, I'm sorry. I don't even care if you're the captain. If some reporter comes up to you and you're just not into it, just say no comment. The way he handled that was so poor. It's just his face, just in his tone. And the question wasn't that bad. I don't care what people say. It wasn't like, what do you feel about the game? No, because we lost. No, it was talking about the season. If you're not into it, just say no comment. Don't look like an idiot. However, a captain, and he thinks he's a captain, and some of the fans say he's a captain, blah, 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 blah. He's not a captain. He's terrible at this stuff. You just go and you say no comment. And if you're going to be a no comment, don't call yourself a captain. Padres need to get themselves a captain. I was talking to some, I'm in San Diego, so I got Padre friends, right? They should go get Pete Alonso. Not that he's a captain, but they should go get him and stop this Arias, Cronenworth type clowns at first base. Cronenworth's just, man, that guy's a utility player, nice utility player. Love to have him on the Dodgers as a utility player. He's not a starter. He's a nice player. But they need to go and evaluate. They could have gotten Freddie Freeman. He was available for them. They've had multiple shots at Justin Turner. They could have gotten Albert in 2021. They had all these opportunities, and they didn't do it. They decided not to do it, and they keep getting these idiots, and so I just it's just mind blowing that they just don't get it. I think that part of it, maybe Preller doesn't understand humans well enough, or Schilt or whoever. Let's see here. Philly scary match, there's nightmare. Yeah, Nando. Well, maybe. Maybe. Oh, wait. Depends on the weekend. All I know is 17th, 18th, and 19th. I cannot. On the 17th, I'm taking my dad down the drag strip in my Mustang. And then the 18th and 19th, I do chaplain work at the drag strip. But I think, yeah, maybe next weekend. That would be fun. That might be good. I do have something on the 12th, though. So we'll have to see. I'd like, somehow, especially as maybe a little World Series game, hopefully. Let's see. Both men, yeah. I would, if I'm the Padres, I actually do trade Fernando Tatis. I'm sorry, he's a clown. He just is. He is a clown, and you don't win. You don't win with that type of guy. As one of your main guys, Oscar. And Machado cannot be the sole leader for a team with championship aspirations. Absolutely. Hey, on the field, like doing stuff, and when he got in Tatis's face a few years ago, that was great. So credit to Manny for that. And the guy knows how to play baseball. Part of it is, hey, just maybe lead by example. You know what I mean? Right? But they need something else. And hey, if they don't, maybe Jackson Merrill becomes that guy. But also, does that stuff wear off? I remember he's still 22. I was a total knucklehead in 22, man. Whew. And having that type of role model is not good. So I would clean up, but yeah, they won't. And they'll keep bringing back what's his name, AJ Preller. Yep. All he had to say was it's too soon to reflect on the season. This is disappointing. Yeah, Richie, you should be the captain of the Padres. Yeah. Well, so I'm gonna push back a little bit on this one, Norm. Why? I mean, Mookie against a bunch of lefties, I kind of like. Yeah, Freddie does need to pick it up a little bit, for sure. But with all those lefties they're throwing at him, I think it's a different. I think it's Teo has got to do it again. Kike's got to do his thing. Edmonds got to be tummy tanks again. Yeah. Yep. And Manny walks all over that organizational accountability. Well, he talks about it, but he doesn't hold himself accountable. So he's just not. That's you just. Yeah. I mean, I don't. My Padre friends. Kind of it does suck for them. I got to admit that. It's to have all those high hopes. I mean, these Padres ever since 2014, when AJ got in there, and you'd see even jerseys that had Preller's name on it, or shirts about I believe in Preller and just trust Preller. The dude has made way more bad calls than good calls. It started right out with that Dodger trade. Matthew Ryan Kemp, who I love, for Monty or just Monty Grandal. Grandal was really good for the Dodgers. I know he missed some catch. I get it. But it doesn't. But in terms of he was really good for the Dodgers, and he was cheap. Versus, you know, it helped the Dodgers with their payroll, all that type of stuff. I mean, the Dodgers paid a lot of his contract. but it made sense. And Dodgers were trying to change something. They were trying to change something up. That's why they brought in Jimmy Rollins. That's why they got rid of some clowns. And at the time, I don't, and I loved Hanley, but he was not a shortstop. Um, there was a big change there. They brought in guys like Howie Kendrick, I really liked a lot too. Still wouldn't have made that trade though I wouldn't have traded Andrew Heaney for Howie Kendrick. But they did a lot of changes to the team and started to reflect it different. And the Padres just go, all right, we're going to start collecting. We're going to play fantasy baseball. So there's a difference. There's building a team, and then there's fantasy baseball, and they keep playing fantasy baseball. Now, of course, that reliever that went down, Jason, sorry, with a knee, really sad. Yeah, it's really tough. That was nasty. I don't like to see injuries like that. God, keep wanting to say Jason Day. It's not Jason Day. I'm just terrible at this stuff. Injured Padre pitcher. Sorry, folks. I am old. Jason Adam. Yeah. That hurt them a lot. But the trade deadline, they made a lot of moves. Fermin looks like a nice player. I don't think he's an everyday guy. I mean, it sounds like he's gonna OPS maybe 700 if it's a really good season. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, when Vesia. Now here, let's talk about Vesia. So remember, he got brought in. Count was 1-2. Sheehan had that guy 1-2. Doc felt that he didn't have his stuff. Put hands on Sheehan, pulled him out, and Vesia got that last pitch, but it wasn't a strike because the guy swung at it. Then the next guy, first 3 pitches were way the heck out of the zone, but then he got the last guy. So it's clear that something ain't right, for sure. Or at least maybe it did get fixed because sometimes it just takes a little tweak. I would recommend Dodger Blue. They had Jeff Spiegel speaking with Rob Hill. I thought it was really good. So I would look at that after you're done here. Oh yeah, the Padres had like 3.4 million fans. They packed that place. They had sellouts, I'm going to say, in 70 plus games. Yeah, they deserve better than Manny and Tatis, but that's the jerseys they wear. And to embrace a guy like Tatis. Oh my gosh, Dominic, my man. Good to see you, bud. Dominic and I, man, we used to even share season tickets. He's my coworker. Good to see you, my bud. Man, good to see you. Hope you figure out a way to get to a game, my man. Hope you figure out a way. Yeah, the Padres, they sell out and do their thing, right? And then they promote Tatis. So let's go back to Tatis. How many baby mamas he got? I think it's 3. Could be more, could be less, but I think it's 3. He had the whole fall off your motorcycle that you're not supposed to be riding, right? And then he had the steroids. That's not a guy you promote. You know what I'm saying? And Machado's Machado. Machado's Machado. You sign him as a really good baseball player. You don't sign him to be your captain. And that's part of the mistakes that they just haven't figured out. Sounds like people like Hosmer really loved him. But there's 2 sides of the story. You have to, if you're the captain, you're double facing, right? You face the team and you face the public and the media. You got to be both. And the people are like, oh, we love Manny. He does the blah, blah, blah in the clubhouse. But then he goes and does stupid things on the field, not hustling, putting some attitude. And then, of course, what we just saw. He is what he is. I'm just gonna leave this here. I'll read it because in case someone is listening, but Richie says it really well, I think. And I think it's a problem. Padres don't invest in their roster for the postseason win. They build it to beat the Dodgers. They're still celebrating the 2022 NLDS win. Yeah. Which reliever besides Sasaki would be vital? I will go with Trinan. Absolutely. Yeah. Trinan, he has had a couple, and it's weird because we have to go to small sample sizes to get excited. It's like he's been good for two outings in a row. Um, I I I think a lot of it actually falls on Doc. It falls on Doc and the coaching staff to make those right calls, to not go, "Tanner Scott's my closer," or even "Blake Trinan's my closer." I did like the way, um, I know Vesey walked the guy, but I like that, what he did. He goes, "We're doing something different." And then, let me go and then, even, they didn't use Trinan as the closer, they used Roki as the closer. So I think, yeah. Okay, Dominic, alright, cool. Yeah, I hope you get to the well, I hope the Dodgers sweep and we don't neither of us get a chance to go, but if you go, I might go. Tatis has not been the same guy since he was buzzed for PEDs. Coincidence? Not for sure. I think it was me and Dominic were talking about this. I was saying Tatis should have numbers like prime Trout. Yeah, we're talking about this a little bit at work. He should have had numbers like prime Trout based on his physical skills and everything like that. I wonder how coachable he is. And I think some of these guys, a lot of the gravy train, right? The parents are gravy training off of him. They put all this thing on him. His contract kind of weird in terms of a lot of people got some extra money for all the way that things worked out. And sometimes giving a young guy, he was like 20 years old when they gave him that huge contract. And but it's not like he got fat. He's not like Jock Peterson. He's still, I mean, he still is in great shape and he plays a really good right field. It's just some of those at bats, and it's kind of weird. They're just a weird team. Um, all I know, hey folks, I know this, man. I cannot wait for the lineup. get I get all geeked up on that stuff. Let's see. What did I see in my published thing here? That's weird. We're live streaming and I'm not seeing it. What? Okay, I'm on the right thing here. Anything else, folks? Really good questions this morning. Thanks for joining up. I think we got some exciting stuff coming up, folks. It's going to be rough. Let's be straight up and honest. It is going to be rough. So I'm even right now. I'm taking my deep breaths here. It's like, oh man, I'm just. It's always nerve-wracking a little bit as we get to this point. And I like to say, when I went to Game 5 last year of Dodgers and Padres, I have a Apple Watch, and when the Dodgers were batting, my pulse rate was 100. When the Padres were batting, it was 120 in that 2-0 game. So, any predictions, folks? Any predictions about NLDS? They don't have an NLDS MVP, but who you got, folks? Who you got? Who's going to be that one guy that's going to just carry the team? I think for me, I'm going straight up. I'm going to go big time. I'm going to go Shohei. Doug McCain would be so proud of me. Believe it. I'll say it here. I believe you be okay. You know what? You say it out loud, but hey, I believe Cal Raleigh is juicing. This isn't me, but you don't set a career on home runs with 34 and go to 60. He plays the most demanding position in pitcher's park. Steroid era spike. Maybe You know how technologies are, right? Um, who knows? Now he did DH quite a bit, but he still played a lot of. He played like 1,200 innings as a catcher. Um, let's just hope it's not true. But you're just saying what everyone's kind of got in their head anyway, right? Everyone's got it in their head. Nando, winner of the world's of this series, won the World Series. But yeah, unless they beat the crap out of each other, like the Dodgers and Giants did. Stress levels are always blank with their bull. I know. Last year was opposite, right? It was the starters that were backwards. Remember, let's. I like to relive history because the history turned out so well for us. But going into the playoffs last year, we had Flaherty. We had, and Flaherty was the number one guy coming in because he was healthy and he'd been semi-effective. Number two was Yamamoto. Remember, Yamamoto wasn't so good. He'd been injured. He was kind of and against the Padres, he'd been terrible. And then our third starter was Walker Buehler, who didn't have one good regular season game. And then we had nothing else. We had Tony. We had Tony Gonsolin working out in Arizona. That was our starting pitching staff. We had Benny Caps, we had Landon Knack, and all that stuff. But those weren't real options for a real start. They were bullpen game type guys. And then Flaherty was good enough against the Padres in Game 1. Yamamoto was meh. Game 3, Buehler wasn't that bad. Remember, Miggy Roke kind of jacked him up with some defense. Freddie hit Manny with the ball, all that stuff. That was a really good play by Manny too. And then Game 4, they bullpenned it. In Game 5, Yamamoto appeared. So there was literally one really good start out of that series. Then the Mets series came on. Yamamoto got better. Flaherty was good in LA, bad in New York. And then Buehler started getting good. He was like, oh wait, four shutout innings or something, and then and all of a sudden Yamamoto was becoming good. Flaherty was good and bad. And Buehler would have his start, but they still did bullpen games. Game 6 was a freaking bullpen game. They won. That was with Evan Phillips not having it. Alex Vesia was not on the team because of injury. And then the World Series, what is it? Game 1, Flaherty was really good. It was that stinking home run by Stanton that got him. And then Game 2, Yamamoto was amazing. Game 3, Buehler was amazing. But then, so they had the starting pitching kind of rolled into it and the bullpen stepped up. This year, going into the series, the Dodgers have great starting pitchers. It always worries me, though, when I start thinking about like the 2011 Phillies, who had Cliff Lee, Cole Hamels, or Hole Camels, Roy Halladay, and Oswald. Roy Oswald. Those are really good pitchers at the time. Those are all elite pitchers. And yeah, they lost. So the bullpen got stepped up. Dodgers lose Game 1. What's your panic meter on a scale of 1 to 10? I just think they have to win one of these games. They have to win one of 2 in Philly. If they have to come in and win 3 straight, I'm at 11 for sure. Panic meter of losing one game in Philly becomes, I don't know, I would say a 5. But it's Norm, it's also how they would win or lose. If they lose because the bullpen, because they go do the whole, well, doesn't matter the situation. We're gonna put Tanner Scott in to close, even though it's all right-handers, and they play that bull crap. Then it's like, wait a minute, Doc, you're playing regular season baseball. If Doc manages as a postseason manager and they lose just because they lose, because they get beat. I just don't want to see them beat themselves with bad pitching, bad pitch placement and all that stuff, or throwing 18 sliders out of 21 pitches or something like that. Don't do something stupid like that. Dodgers 4, I can't handle. That's like handle the ice cream, dude. Handle game 5. Benny R for MVP. I love it. Who'd have thought? Nobody called that one. No, and Casey on Dodgers Daily had a really good thing about Rortvet. But he just said, he had a really good tweet. Just said, "Oh yeah, just as expected, blah 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 blah. That's what we wanted. That's the type of guy we wanted in the trade deadline." And then he goes, "No, I'm just kidding." It was like, no, there was no, yeah, no one knew that. Like I said, I had wanted, or had said, I did not want it. I said, hey, because remember Dalton wasn't doing well, right? Dalton wasn't doing well, and I go, maybe the Dodgers will go get themselves a veteran catcher, and they did. I just didn't know it. I just thought he was the emergency guy, and he was just the emergency guy. But all of a sudden, that guy has turned into a folk hero. He is he's just that guy. They're like Leyritz, right? Remember Leyritz with the Yankees and the Padres? He was good. Some of these guys, they come out of nowhere. Kike's like that. Maybe Benny Rowe is just another guy that just goes and helps carry us. And I don't want that to be, I got to be honest, you don't play Will Smith just because he's healthy. Norm mentioned it a long time, quite a few chats ago. Will Smith hadn't been in a game. Now maybe he'll be rested, that's good in a way. But your right hand, right? Your right-hander, it's like you're like this, right? Depends. Some people, when I golf, I line up my knuckles, but however you do it, depending on your bat handle and how big your hands are. But it's this hand, but it's also affecting this. So we'll see. We shall see. All right, folks. I'm going to go back to creating videos for a guy named Bob the Builder. And take care of my wife, make sure she's okay. I think I'm gonna make a quick Costco run. I just saw some good ads out there for them. And man, just kind of relax a little bit. We got baseball starting, I think, at 11. So I hope we all, enjoy the first few games, and then we all panic together and just enjoy the heck out of some Dodger baseball and see if our Dodger boys will take care of business for us. And make sure. Oh, Craig Osterberg. There we go. Thanks, Craig, for coming in, man. Caught you a little early, didn't I? There you are. There you are. So thanks, everyone. As I wish, I kind of did the show at the last minute, just begin. So that's why Mike's not here. But we let it's like it's time. It's time to strike while it's hot. Let's talk about it. And sure that who knows, we might even do another show today or do a post game. We don't know yet. But hey, go to church tomorrow. As always, God bless.